your fingers crossed. Oh, hey up, something's wrong with the camera already. Let me turn the camera off and start it again. I did talk it up, didn't it? Well, that's curious, isn't it? Bear with. It was working a minute ago. Connected to webcam. Start, please. Well, hello everyone who can't see us. Give us a sec, I'll jump back to the other screen and see if that works. No, it ain't having it. Well, if you like to have Little Port Radio, that's the way it's going to be at the minute, I think. Let me try unplugging it up the other end. It's got the power on. Oh, this is rather pathetic, isn't it? Sorry, everyone. Let's swap camera. Let's try integrated. I'll just do whatever, refresh. Back in a mo, everyone. Port Christian Spirit this fine Thursday evening. Oh, we have a beginning of something. Yay! Let me just turn that back because I'm sure you don't want to. There we go. Hello! We're on, we're live, we're good. I blame the medium, she said she affects electronics.
Sorry.
Good evening and welcome everyone to this, our Thursday gathering in a warm and toasty, loving environment that is Little Port Christian Spiritualists. It's a pleasure to see you all here. Familiar faces, faces from the present, faces from the past, faces that have come back, faces that have definitely been on a journey and come back. Because tonight I'd like to introduce and ask for a proper Little Port welcome. Our medium, that's better, I'll see you now, love, there you go. Our medium for this evening is a very good friend of mine, a very good friend of this church, and in actual fact our journey started around about where we're sitting right now together. So please give a little bit welcome to Jo Bruno! We have just been reliving the past and talking about events of around about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Which we can both remember like it was yesterday.
Flown by.
It has flown by, so it's a great pleasure to welcome you here tonight.
Well, thank you for having me here.
To be our medium, so thank you. Well, friends, without further delay, because I've already messed up twice, let's open this evening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, divine universal source of all, we thank you. We thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends, to unite in a banner of love, of hope and of friendship, to witness your proof and your truth that life is eternal. As we place this service in your care and keeping, we make that statement as ever, as the veil is lifted and our loved ones draw close. Everything we do will be in love, truth and light. Amen. Well, friends, it's time for some notices, and I've got a few bits and pieces to get through. Because in particular, there's 2 days coming up where there's lots going on. One is for friends, and one is for us. And they're right next to each other. Because there is a psychic event in Ixworth. So if you're out in Ixworth direction, there you go. But if you're anywhere near Ixworth on Friday the 5th of December, the Courtyard in Ixworth, there's an evening of mediumship with Mark Drake and friends. Mark has served this church on numerous occasions. His mum and dad are regulars. And we do, he served us in our mind, body and spirit events. Oh, there's a subtle hint dropping in there. So if you are in the area, tickets are £15 in advance or £18 on the door. Doors open at 6 p.m, starts at 7. There'll be mulled wine, mince pies and refreshments. Get your tickets early to avoid disappointment. And that is on Friday the 5th of December. On Saturday the 6th of December, we're filling the hall with spirits. We're filling this hall with love and laughter and upliftment and healing and food and mediumship and food and crafts and food, because we've got our Christmas mind, body and spirit event. That is from 11 till 3 on Saturday the 6th of December. And it will be right here. So do come along because there's loads going on. It's free to enter. Yeah. It's free to enter, so you can save your pennies to spend on the stalls. And let's think about it. With Christmas so close and all of us being so spiritual, what better place to go and find spiritual Christmas presents to buy for our loved ones to encourage them to be just like us, eh? And there will be a sound bath in that room and the gonging in there. So there's loads going on. So really exciting, and I hope to see as many that can make it on the 6th of December. And remember, on the 5th, if you're out Ixworth Way, do support Mark. He's a lovely, lovely guy. So there are no other notices, really, because it's that time of the month again where we're coming out of November and into December. So there's no talk of the drumming circle or the workshops, although I will just briefly say the second Sunday of next month there will be the last workshop of the year. And that then means that it's time to talk of philosophy and spiritual things. And you know, one of the things about spiritualist philosophy is that it covers a huge range of topics. One of the things that's great about our way of life is that we can stand up and talk about, within reason, pretty much anything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't. But one of the things that you must do is put your faith and trust in spirit to guide you in a direction that is appropriate for what is needed, because spiritual philosophy should be the message that everyone gets. It shouldn't just be Nick standing up here ranting about what's wound him up this week. And trust me, there's plenty I could say about that, but I don't need to, because that's my dealings, my situation, and I've got no right to push that onto you. And that's the thing about spiritual philosophy. It isn't about pushing an agenda or an idea onto anybody. Spiritualist philosophy is about giving people the freedom and the liberty and the joy to be able to explore their own belief in their own way and express that relationship with the divine that is their own relationship. As I look around this room, I know many different people for many different reasons. And I know that my relationship with each one of you is different to the next, and the next, and the next. Well, that's how the Great Spirit, that divine source, works in terms of its relationship with us. And it's always nice to see that Barry arrives just in time for the philosophy. Hello, darling. The thing about spiritual philosophy is it gives us this opportunity to expand and to grow and have our own relationship, to have our own understanding and be free to do so. It's all right, he needs a coffee, it's cold outside. One of the things that I do an awful lot is watch videos on YouTube and Facebook. We can all be honest and say we get lost in a bit of a doom scroll now and again. Now, for me, doom scrolling means rabbits funny cats, children swearing, and science. Sorry, Eunice. And one of the things that's been showing up a lot this week is the science of the spectrum, the rainbow. A prism, when you shine white light through it, breaks down that white light into all the colours of the rainbow. That's how a rainbow is created. And once upon a time, there was a man who said, if you combine all the colours of the spectrum in forms of light and push them all together, you create white light, because it's the same in reverse. And of course, this was in the time of many painters and creatives who was used to mixing red, blue and yellow and getting a browny colour. So the idea that mixing all of the colours of the rainbow creating white light was, oh no, that's not true. But of course we know it is. Each one of us sits in our own part of the spectrum of spirit. Each one of us has our own perspective, our own flavour, our own colour. But here's the thing. When you bring us all together, you create that white light of spirit, the great shining whole that is a collection of all of us. So your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, your feeling, your relationship with spirit is part of that design, is part of that whole, is part of that story. Just like if you think about when you go and get a sheep. And you get sheep and you get all the fibres and the hairs. It's all this big mass and mess. But as you spin it and spin it and spin it, it creates a single thread. And that single thread can be used to make anything, like a beanie or a snood or a jumper or a cardi. Because by bringing all different bits together, you can create something new. And that something new can also be used to create something better and noble. But on the subject of spectrums and rainbows, don't worry that you're orange and someone else is green. Don't worry that someone else is blue and someone else is purple. That's who and what you are. Nobody has the right to tell you otherwise. Because without all of those individual colours, you wouldn't be able to create the white light, that illumination on everything. Because each you, each purpose, each direction, and each relationship is important to create that whole connection. Maybe that's why we love a rainbow after a storm. A reminder that in the darkness, there's some colour, there's some light. And even though those shades of light are separated, they're all part of one great thing that reminds us of Zippy, George and Bungle, but also reminds us of how we are connected and how we are all unique and special. So nurture your own relationship, nurture your own way of connecting with spirit. And remember, you have that right because it's your relationship, not mine. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. And so now is the time in our service when we hand over to Eunice. And because we're working on the external microphone, I will say she's not been plugged in this week. So if you could stand close and speak louder, that would be great. So people can hear what you've got to say. But please welcome for our reading tonight, the one and only Eunice.
Good evening all. There are some days that I just sit and say, I wish I stayed in bed. Maybe something happened, or it's something someone said. We all get up and do our best whilst faced with what's to come. That's life, and we all face it. We do what must be done. Many tasks along the way which are mostly done with ease. We do our very best for them, whilst trying hard to please. The simple things like washing up, we do it every day. Without a script, we get it done, because we know the way. Some things are said to try us when we least expect. We deal with it as best we can. We do it with respect. We do not always get things right, although we try our best. We must learn and try much harder when things put us to the test. As another day is over, we pray that we can rest in the knowledge that we all have tried to do our very best. None of us are perfect, but together we get along. So please all come together, for together we are strong. Thank you.
Well, your guides had me worried there for a minute, but they pulled it out the bag. It ties in. Now, for those that haven't been in a while, or never before, or haven't watched us online before, we do things a little bit differently here. We have the reading after the philosophy, so that we can put spirit to the test to see if the philosophy ties in with the reading. And all I was told is, I've written something. And that's it. That's all I know. And so I get led by spirit, Eunice gets led by spirit, and the theme comes out. And of course tonight's theme is togetherness. So thank you, you and your guides, Eunice. And so now is the time in our evening when we hand over to our healing leader, Tony, who is going to take us through that healing process of sending out our healing thoughts to all those in need, including those in the new healing book. But you can also have hands-on healing if you should wish from our healing star circle, who, if you were here before in time, you would have heard a bit of drumming going on, preparation and all this wonderful stuff. But to talk us through that process, please welcome our healing leader, Tony!
Well, thank you. In a few moments, I'll ask you to just put your healing thoughts to the following. Charlotte, Sophie, Janet, Sue J, Lily, Harold, Ryan, Jackie, Debbie, Tim, Sherry Ann, Jen, Trace, Margaret, Susan, Tricia, Ember, Sarah, Ruth, Noah, Kaza, and Bernadette's family, and our very own Caroline, who's not very well this evening. So that's the easy bit done. If you would like some close proximity, hands-on, whatever you like to call it, healing, just raise a hand. Oh, good, no shy people, that's wonderful. Healers, would you go to where there is a hand raised, and would you please keep your hands up until somebody gets there? And as ever, a few words from me. Great Spirit, when our healers are ready, would you please send your healing powers down through them to those who have asked? And I'm sure our healers will do one. Do one there. Oh, so I'll go there. That's fine. Barry, you going to go there? Not that that was an instruction or anything, Barry, but just, you know. And I'll come to the back. So, as I said, Great Spirit, please send your healing powers down through our healers who have approximately 3 minutes to do their work.
Spirit, Father, Mother, God, divine source of the universe and great Creator. Here we bring unto you all those listed in all the healing books throughout the land. Be they sick in mind, body, spirit, or soul, that it may please thee to heal them, those we know, those we do not know, those that have no one to ask for them. We ask for them. them now. We ask for them now. Oh no.
Thank you, healers. If you can just say your thanks to who you need to and pull yourselves back. And if there's any of you in tonight who are a little bit shy and didn't want to put their hand up for that little bit, myself or any of the other healers are here after the service tonight, and just come and talk to us. We'll surely do what we can for you. Thank you.
Amen, brother. Thank you to Tony and all of our healers. Thank you so much for all you do, the effort that you put in, and the humility at which you work. It is always appreciated. And I think that healing is a little bit underappreciated in this way of life in this day and age. And so I officially and joyfully announce that by executive order, executive decision, and because I know no one would disagree with me on this one at least, I have decided that the Independent Spiritualists Alliance will focus on December as Healing Month. Because, at the end of the day, healing deserves a proper shout-out. Healing is at the root and core of everything we do. And, you know, I think it's important to give it that focus and that celebration that it deserves. So December is all going to be about a focus on healing. I do an online workshop. It'll probably be connected to healing. The Sunday workshop that we have in the hall will definitely be related to healing. And so December is Healing Month, to celebrate healing and everything it can do. And I am reminded that in a world where we're told to be careful, where we're told to, restrict our potential, I'm reminded that in 1969, one of the pioneers of spiritualism, Gordon Higginson, said, "We can't cure everybody because we are not good enough, because we do not attune to the spirit, because we are distracted by life. And if we could attune ourselves in a stronger and better way with spirit, like the healers and messiahs and prophets of old, like Jesus and all of those others," yes, he did use that word, "then we could save many more lives from having the need for prolonged suffering." And that is how healing was viewed in the 60s and 70s. And we need to get back to that, to celebrate the strength and the power of what healing can be. It's not faith healing, it is spiritual healing, and there we are. So December is all about the healing. And of course, another form of healing is the healing of the mind. The healing that is given through encouragement, upliftment, and proof of survival. So in a moment, I'm going to hand over to the lovely Jo to finish off our evening by connecting us with the world of spirit. Should she come to you, please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, don't know. Don't feed the medium. She really does bite your hand off. I've seen it happen. But most importantly, send your love and upliftment to her as she gives us her demonstration. So please welcome to the floor, the one and only Jo Bruno!
Well, thank you for inviting me here this evening to be of service to Spirit. It's always an honour to work with Spirit, and I hope that everybody can hear me okay. Please let me know if my voice dips at all. Now, looking around here, I know that most of you have not seen me work. There's a lot of new faces for me here. So I'm just going to explain a little bit about how I personally work, because we are all unique souls and we all work in our own way. Now, firstly, I need glasses to be able to see all of you and to be able to read. But when I'm working with Spirit, they make me take them off to connect, which means that you are all now very, very, very blurred. Okay. I never know where I'm going. Okay, so I need all of you to listen up. I'll connect with Spirit, pass on the information, and then if anyone can understand that I'm with them, please raise your hand, get my attention, and let me know. If more than one of you can understand the message, please put your hand up. I seem to at times get double links where we have two people in spirit blending together, and it's my job as the medium to ask them to unblend and give both messages. Okay. Now, the way that I actually work is that I hear spirit, I see spirit, and I feel spirit. You'll get an idea for how I am working by the way in which I'm phrasing my sentences. I do pace around a lot. It does build the energy for me to work with. And you may have noticed that I was doing a bit of yawning. I do go very sleepy before I start working also, so apologies for that. What I need from all of you is clear yeses, clear no's, and clear I don't know. I believe that I am the telephone to the spirit world, and if you were to make a phone call and not say hello, you're not going to get somebody saying hello on the other end. If there's anything that you cannot understand, it's my job as the medium to gain clarity. Spirit are never wrong. I can interpret that information at times. So by you saying no, we can tune back in and get some more clarification. So is everybody understanding of what I need them to do this evening? Yeah? Lovely. Okay, so let's see who we have with us first. I have a lovely lady in the world of spirit stepping forward to say hello. Build-wise, she's got a bit of a pear shape going on with her body, but I also feel quite dainty as well. Okay, I feel that I am mum to somebody here, and I know that lovely lady, really sweet personality, would love to sing. I feel that she would have spent a number of years singing in a choir of some sort. Okay, she had that lovely, lovely voice. When I say she's a sweet lady, I get this really warm, loving energy coming off of her. But I also know that she was a stickler for things being done just so, and she would have a tongue on her if need be. Okay, and I also know from her, because she's making me feel really, really busy, that she would have had some kind of inner ear imbalance, like a vertigo or something along those lines, because I just feel like I'm swaying. And I feel that this would have slowed her down towards the end of her life and took away a lot of the joy and the things that she liked to do, because she was kind of like stuck within this busyness. Can anybody understand this beautiful lady, please, that we have of Mum that wishes to say hi? Oh, that's a good start. Okay. If anybody can understand part of that information that's being given, please do raise your hand. Okay. I know that she would have held her body just so. Okay. I sometimes do get relationship bonds wrong, so we could well have a nan that was like a mum also, instead of it being that direct mum link. Can anybody take that, please? You can take that. So you can take it as being nan.
Mum.
Sorry? Mum. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So can I work with you?
Yes.
Yeah? Is there anything that you can't understand in what I've said?
Everything.
Everything fits. Lovely. Okay. So, the way that she just would very often do this with her arm, because I can't seem to move it away. She wants me to stand like this as she communicates with yourself. And what she's making me aware of was that she had such a love for life, Would you understand this? And I feel that I am very active, okay? And I'm zooming around all over the place. And I do so much for everybody. Would you understand this? And people would often say, you need to slow down. Would you understand this? And she would be like, I'll slow down when I leave this earth. Do you understand that? Okay. Would you understand, I don't want to get the names, but I've just heard the name Jackie. Would you understand the name Jackie around her or on the earth plane? No? Fair enough. I had to be a bit because I heard it, but it might be that you come across that name as you go about your week. Okay? I feel that came towards her towards the end was a result of her overdoing and not wanting to slow down. Life kind of said, you need to take a breath, you need to take a step back. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. I also feel that I want to, I can feel her hands, okay, and they just feel super, super soft, okay? So I feel like I'm somebody that would have used a lot of hand cream because I feel like I'm moving my hands around a lot and I'm rubbing that cream in and I'll get through quite a lot, okay? And it's almost a bit of a standing joke because I feel like she would have several jars or tubes of cream building up because she would get through it, yeah? And, I'm asking her why she's come forward tonight to communicate with yourself. And she's saying 2 peas in a pod, personality-wise, you will do anything for anybody. Would you understand that? Yeah? But she's given me this feeling, because we spoke at the beginning about her having a bit of a sharp tongue. Yeah? She feels that sharp tongue needs to come out around somebody around you, okay? So somebody's just taken a little bit of, insert a little swear word in there, out of you, and you need to just reset your boundaries a little bit. Would you understand that? Possibly, okay. It's just the way that she is conveying that to me. If you didn't take Mum's advice when she was alive, don't take it now, okay? Because they don't change when they go over into the world of spirit. So just bear that when she is saying what she wants to say. But she's just been watching, okay? She's very much around you at present. And she's just taken my awareness to a picture frame that she has just slightly keeps putting on the wall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? And it's like that's her nod to say hello to you when she does that, and then you straighten it back up and you go, hello, Mum. And it's that constant communication that is coming from you to her, and she wants to acknowledge that also. Okay? Okay. Would you understand, please, rather random, she's showing me knives, forks, spoons, so like cutlery, but after she would wash them, okay, she's polishing them, like she's running them under like hot water, like boiling water, and she's polishing them up. So I feel like I'm somebody that would take a real big pride in the tiny things in life. Yeah? And she is smiling from ear to ear because she's saying that you take pride, and it is a pleasure for her to see all what you get up to, and she's proud. She's got so much proudness there for you. She's showing me a hanky, and I feel like the hanky would have like an initial on it. Would you understand that? Okay. And she's telling me that you keep that close to you. It was hers, and at times you either carry it around, or you pop it in your pocket, or you hold it and think of her. Can you understand that?
No.
You can't understand that. Okay. But you can understand the hanky.
Yes, no.
Okay. I'm just trying to work out why she gave that last little bit of information. So I'm just going to ask her if she can bring some clarity as to how I misinterpreted that. Bear with me. What she said. Did she also used to touch her chin? Like when she's thinking at times? I'm not sure. You're not sure? Okay. This is just, my image is just suddenly changed when I'm trying to listen to what she has to say. Okay. I can't understand why she gave me that last little bit. I'll be totally honest with you about me carrying it or holding it and thinking of her. With that, okay. Would you understand that in relation to thinking about somebody else that's in spirit but not her?
No, but she did use to embroider initial or something.
She used to embroider, yeah, because the initial was the big thing that she wanted me to see, because I can see it as clear as day on my hanky. So I'm going to not try and read too much into that, but I'm going to leave the hanky there. But I do feel that you have some of her hankies, okay? Or if you don't, somebody does.
But somebody may do.
Okay. So it might be that she's trying to say you could get one so that you can put it in your pocket and carry it, and then she's close. That's it, and then she's close to you. Okay. Got there in the end. Okay. Now I know Nick mentioned rainbows, but just as I draw away from your lovely mum, she wants me to give you a rainbow. Okay. I just feel that the rainbow is very uplifting, it's very healing, and it's full of hope. Okay, so that's her message for you, and thank you for working with me. I have a man in spirit, and is wearing a flat hat. And I know by the way in which I feel my speech is just slowing down that there is a slight breathing issue with this man. His breathing was a bit laboured towards the end. And I also, as he's showing me, I'm just going to ask him to take that away. As he's showing me him walking, I know that I can't walk in the normal sense. I don't even know that I can do a demonstration of what he's showing me, but it's like I'm like waddling to one side, but one of my knees keeps giving out, and I'm a bit like that. That's probably not a very good impression, but that's what I can see. So I know there's problems with the knees. Okay. Colours that I see this lovely man wearing are very like the khaki greens, the beiges, what I call the more kind of traditional colour clothing, okay? I don't feel that I'm particularly tall with this gentleman either, but I feel that I would always like to keep my flat cap on. I will take it off on occasions, or just pull my head down slightly to acknowledge somebody in a polite manner, okay? I know that I'm hard working in my younger years because he's just rolled his sleeves up to show me that. Okay. Okay. I feel like I am on a grandfather and grandfather link here. But there's part of me that wants to say father too, so I feel that the bond is strong, okay? The bond is strong. Can anybody understand? Am I really?
Well
So
done.
that's why I'm getting. Okay.
You were getting both, yeah.
Okay.
Focus on her, she's further away.
He liked to celebrate because as you two acknowledged him, he wanted to have a little drink, and I've got the sound of glasses like ching-chinging together, and it's like raise a toast. Would you understand? Okay. It's giving me that breathing feeling again, and I feel like it really slowed him down, okay? So I'm guessing, Nick, that this would be your granddad and your dad, Linda, is that correct? Yeah? I say guessing because that was the generational pull that I was getting there. Okay. I feel, Linda, that your dad has been, and I know I said this a minute ago with somebody else, coming in very, very tightly and close to you. Just through the way that he's coming so close to me, okay? So would you understand, because I actually feel like I wanted to ask him just to take a step back from you, okay? Not to not come around you and send his love, but just to take a step back. Because he was a strong character when he was on the earth plane, okay? And he had a lot of energy to give. And he feels that you need more energy, okay? So he's been coming in extremely close. And I feel that accidentally, with him coming in really close and your own mediumistic abilities and energy that you have, the blending that's happening is causing you to be quite breathless. And I don't feel that all this breathless is yours. Does that make sense? And I feel that there's been an element of you thinking, oh, am I more run down of late? Is the cold affecting my lungs when I go outside? And what I'm feeling is that he's almost coming through to apologise, because he's saying, not that he would really apologise in life, but he's realising that he's been blending very, very tightly with you. So know that you're getting a super boost of energy from Dad in spirit, but next time you feel a little bit out of breath, acknowledge him, and he'll just be able to take that step back enough for you to recapture your breath, okay? Because I do feel like the coldness is really like affecting you. And I haven't worn a scarf in ages, but I had to wear a scarf tonight. And I feel like I want to be putting a scarf around you to keep your chest warm when you're going out and about. Okay? Okay. Would you also understand, please, a dog connected with Dad within the spirit world, please? Yeah? Because he comes in walking the dog. The dog, I feel, comes up to about my knees, so it wasn't a particularly small dog. And I feel that the dog has been coming around you, Nick, and I feel like it has made you trip up on occasions, okay? I just feel like it's very much getting under your feet, all right? But I feel like this wonderful family dog was so active that it's almost like I'm running round in circles chasing my own tail, and he's still very, very much like that in the spirit world, because it's making me a little bit giddy, because it's like I'm going round and round and round trying to catch my tail. It's almost like this dog never aged or grew up. It was like its mind stuck in like being a puppy. Would you understand that? Okay, thank you. And okay, what else do they want to say? Okay, so I feel like I'm going to my wrist. He just wants to say cheers again. So there has been a watch left within the family that belonged to Dad. Would you understand that? Okay. Would you understand that it's a watch, I can't think of the name, that you have to move around to get it
motion,
to,
yeah.
that's it, motion. And would you understand that nobody's picked it up and given it a shake in a while?
Yes, I would.
And it needs to be brought back to life, he's saying, all right? Because he says that it needs, his watch is a symbol of him living on, so get it shook and moving, all right? And, okay. I know that he would have suffered with a bit of heartburn, and I'm really asking him not to give that to me, because I don't want to start belching on platform. And I'm just paying attention to my body again, and my hand's very similar to what it was with the lovely lady, but it's rather than the fist being curled round, it's very much on the edge of my hip. And I've said earlier that he had problems with his knees, but as I'm looking, I feel like it meant that he was a bit twisted. Would you understand that? And that's the feeling that I'm getting. And it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm like that. Okay. I also feel that there is some issue with his circulation within the toe area of his feet towards the end. Would you understand that? Yeah, lovely, thank you. And I feel like communication at the end wasn't something that he could manage. Can you understand that? Yeah? And he wants you all to know that every single word that you spoke to him at the end, he heard. He just could not speak the words that he wanted to speak. And I feel that everything he did in life, he did for his family. Would you understand that? And he hopes that you understand that because everything he did in life he did for his family, that he was able to leave that love for you all when he passed, okay? I know I'm not somebody that speaks words of I love you, but I show that in my actions and my hard work, because he worked from early hours till very, very late at night, and then he would get up at say 4, I'm getting 4 or 5, and he would go back out, he would work a full day as well, okay? I've got something in my mouth that I'm chewing on. I don't know whether it's like licorice, get my words out, or like some kind of like tobacco stick. I don't even know if that's a thing, but there's something that he's chewing on in his mouth as he's going around, or even a cocktail stick. Can you understand? Yeah, lovely. I feel like now he's made this connection, he could talk for hours, okay? So I'm just going to ask him if there's anything else he would like to say, or whether he can just leave his acknowledgement with you and allow somebody else to come forward. So let me just see what he has to say. Okay. I feel that he just wants you to know that he's there. So if you ever are having a bit of a wobble, like emotionally, about how you are physically feeling, just call on your dad and you'll get that instant energy reboot of love. All right? Thank you. And Nick, he's doing this with his hands at you. I don't know why. Would you understand that? I do. Okay, lovely. So that's how he leaves that.
Thank you.
Thank you for working. I've got a lady with me now, and I know that she had circulation issues and like Raynaud within the hand. Because I'm really rubbing my hands here to try and get the heat and circulation back into them, and they feel quite numb, okay? I feel like I'm about early 80s when I pass, maybe about 82, give or take. I know that I have what I call with like the cotton wool hair, super, super soft, very, very white. Okay. I just noticed that I bit my lip, so I know she's somebody that when she was thinking she would bite her lip. Can anybody understand this lady so far? I will carry on talking to her, but if anyone can understand, please let me know. The circulation felt quite, what's the word that I want? Quite a problem for her. Like, I just feel like the colour change and the numbness in my fingers would mean that, because I feel like I'm somebody that would have liked to have fed people, like cooked for people, homemade cooking, and towards the end I just feel like she would struggle to get things out of the oven, and she would struggle to cook in the way in which she did. I do feel like I've got that mum relationship there. There's a really strong bond, and for some reason the lady with the red scarf, I feel really drawn to you. Yeah? Can I work with you? Well, that's a new one for me. Okay, so the fact that she has literally honed in and said that's who I'm with, that's my daughter, shows me the strong bond that the two of you had. Okay? I feel that most days there would be some form of communication taking place. Okay? And I feel that there would be a lot of conversations. So if you wasn't in person, you would be on the phone. Would you understand that? Would you understand at times being on the phone and doing a crossword? Because I'm just being shown a crossword. So that's how you would entertain each other over the phone when there wasn't a lot of stuff that needed to be said. Would you understand? Yes. Lovely. And that brought her so much joy. Okay, it was one of the most fun things that she used to do with you. And for some reason she's showing me a pot of jam, so I feel like she would have made jam, or there'd be a story about the jam. Would you understand that? Yes. Lovely. And I feel like I've gone a little bit itchy, so I feel like she would have suffered with a bit of dry skin and itchiness at some point. Would you understand? Yeah? Okay. And, okay. She's saying to me, although you were mother and daughter, you were best friends, you were sisters, you were everything rolled into one, okay? And I feel like she would do knitting, because I'm just seeing like knitting needles and like crochet type things. And I feel like I'm just trying to see what she's knitting, and I've got gloves. Okay, but you're saying no to that, aren't you? I don't know. You don't know about the gloves. I'm just going to try and see why she gave that, because I do like, if someone says no, I do like to figure out why I got a certain something. So when I'm seeing gloves, I'm seeing the knitting taking place. And it's a really lovely, like creamy, kind of like beige colour wool. And I didn't see mittens, more of a mitten. Does she ever knit mittens for children? I don't know. You know, like years and years ago, maybe you could ask with the string, that's what I'm seeing. So if she didn't knit them personally, there must be a memory somewhere around you or within the family of the string on the end of the glove. Yeah. So you can understand that. So there's two bits of information that she's bringing forward there. Okay, that's bringing back a real memory for me. Wow. They don't tend to do that anymore, do they? Okay. So I feel for her, she's coming in around you, but she's showing herself symbolically. Okay. So I'm feeling like, I just feel like I'm seeing like butterflies and sparks of light, okay? Those butterflies can be manifested in the physical sense of a butterfly, but also like a butterfly on a coaster, or like in a magazine, or on like in an art form, okay? And I feel that this is very symbolic for her, because butterflies have that like freedom, don't they? And she says if it wasn't for the constant check-ins that you gave her and the crosswords together that lifted up her everyday life, she would have felt quite restricted. Would you understand that? And she was quite upbeat when she first connected and be like, that's where I am. But just more on a serious note, she wants to come through and say thank you for everything, and she needs everything that you did for her, okay? Because she's just making me aware, like towards the end before she went over into the spirit world, you're puffing up pillows, would you understand that? And you're doing more than what a daughter should be expected to do. And she doesn't want to go into too many details because she says you'll cry and she doesn't want that. But she wants you to remember the good times, the crossword, the telephone, not the end. But she is really, really thankful for all the magic and the caring that you gave to her at the end. Thank you. Okay. I've got a gentleman now, and he's quite tall. I've just suddenly, like, my posture's terrible as an everyday person, but I feel like I've suddenly been made to stand up very, very straight, and I feel very tall. I feel quite slender with this man, and I don't feel like I made old bones, okay? I don't feel like I made old bones. I feel like I want to go maybe mid-50s, early 60s, but I also feel like I looked a lot younger for my years, so it might be that he's got a bit of trickery coming in and is a little bit older than what that is. I feel like I've got good genes in the sense of keeping myself looking young. Okay. I feel like I want to go to the chest area, and I feel like my passing was very sudden, and I feel like I have been taken in spirit with some form of heart condition or heart attack. Okay. And I almost feel like I've got palpitations in my chest. So there would have been some palpitations in the chest, but he didn't think anything of it before he actually passed over quite suddenly. I feel that I'm father with this man. Can anybody understand him, please? No, maybe? You might. What can't you understand, lovely? The age. That was confusing me because I kept changing what I was saying, because would you understand that he looked young for his years? Or is he just showing himself at his best? Like, yeah, yeah. Okay. So what I was saying, because I was feeling when I looked, I got given the age of about 55, 60. So would you not, I'm not going to say that for passing. I'm just trying to work out why I got that, okay? And would you understand something in his life happening around 55, maybe 60? No, he didn't make that wrong. He didn't make that wrong. Then I'm not with you then. All right, lovely. Am I with you, Barry? Maybe.
The age is up. For his age, he did look young.
He did look young, because that's what I feel like is coming through with a lot of, like, charisma. Would you understand me? Like, maybe charisma's the wrong word, but it's like he's coming in and he's like, I look young. He's like, he's got a sense of humour.
He would be young in mind in that he wouldn't want to be seen as old.
Okay, so you can understand why he's making such a big thing of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite proud of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So it's like it came as a real big shock when he went over to spirit. Okay. And he was saying to me, like, in hindsight, he was having a little bit of fluttering, but it's almost like, because I'm so active, he just thought it was normal, like he just pushed himself a little bit hard that day. Would you understand?
Yeah, he had, I'll take years before I didn't even know he had that. He could have just worked through it or just...
Yeah, he was quite, I feel like quite a closed book, in the sense of didn't really share.
No, you wouldn't tell me.
No, because he's just showing me this closed book, and it was like his life was very private to him, which is why when I'm trying to ask for some lovely details, he's like a closed book. But he does feel that it's important that he comes in, and I almost feel like the accent's changing a little bit with me there, and the way I said I feel like it's important that he has come through to acknowledge you. I almost felt like I want to go down south, a little bit like in London.
He's London.
Okay, because that's what I heard in my
We're both London.
that's what I heard in my voice, that he was from London.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's like, oh, it's lovely. He's just got that typical kind of almost like East End banter about him, okay? And what you see is what you get, and you don't go any deeper than that, okay? And would you understand, please? I've just got the song, Needs Not Mother Brown being sung to me. Would you understand that? And it's like I kind of want to get my glass, and like I did with Nick, ching in it, but it's more of like what's the word? Like a tanker, like is tanker the right word? Like a metal.
He didn't have one, but I can imagine him doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Separate.
Okay, so why is it coming through? Let's ask him. And he's saying, life is short, you've got to grab it. Alright, you've got to grab every moment of it. And it's like he's saying, stop doubting yourself, stop listening to the inner chatter, and just tell it to, insert the word there, off, and just be. You deserve to just be, and you deserve to enjoy life. Alright? So he's saying his gift to you is to make the most of every day and every moment, and do something that you love every day, even if it isn't the norm, and people might think, what on earth is he doing? Do it. And just embrace who you are, because you've got some wonderful talents. Alright? You need to be using them. I'm going to leave his acknowledgement with you. Thank you for working with me. About 15 minutes. Okay, thank you. Okay. This is a bit different. I've got somebody with me, but they're not showing themselves to me yet. And I know that there would have been a love of motorbikes, because I'm just seeing a motorbike very, very clearly. That's what I've been given first of all. Okay. I feel like the owner of this motorbike was male, and I feel like it's almost a bit symbolic, like this male lived life in the fast lane, okay, and I don't feel like I made old bones at all, okay. I feel like I was born an old soul, and as I'm asking him to show himself to me, I feel like I'm somebody that would have liked some kind of like drum and bass, kind of like heavy music, because I can hear that. I feel that I would have worn a cap on my head, and I feel like I'm like a medium build, and yeah, I've literally been taken over to spirit way too soon. However, it was like almost like this knowing that everybody had, that he was born such an old soul, that he just had such a enthusiasm for life, that he loved getting into mischief, he loved winding people up, he loved being the centre of attention, all right? and he brought so many different emotions to everybody's lives, from laughing to crying to almost like screaming, like, not again, why have you done this? It was always something happening that he was bringing into life, because he was living life in the fast lane. Would you understand that? Thank you. I feel such a cheekiness with this lad, okay? So cheeky, that it's like he's coming in and he's blowing a kiss and he's giving a big, strong, like, hug, holding you tight. And it's, there was something he just said. I'm just going to say, I'll see whether he will repeat that to me, because it came in and out very, very quickly. Oh, no. Hopefully it'll come back in a minute. What else would you like to say, Margaret? I get the sense that he wants to say that he's not gone, he's just in a different room, all right? And I feel that he knows that you're having trouble letting go. Would you understand? His mummy's, okay. Okay, because that's, yeah, so there's this struggling to let go, and it's like I walk into a room and everything is exactly how it was, okay? And it's like he wants to say, and instead of saying mum, he's saying ma. Would you understand that? Or it might be that I'm just not hearing the full words, but you can maybe ask. Okay. Okay. It's like he's saying, I told you, Ma. Can you speak to his mum?
Yeah.
Okay. I told you, Ma. And with that, I get this really strong feeling that he's like, he just wants her to understand that the connection, the bond, the love, the humour is all there. And I'm getting beautiful waves of blue energy, okay? And I want, he's making me feel that she's going to see this blue energy and know that he's around her. And that it's really, really important, because he's repeating it, that I'm not gone, I'm just in the next room, okay? And that his sense of humour is very much like, well, I can be the spirit guide now, all right? So I feel that he's trying to change the dynamics to heal, because she does need to have a lot of healing, all right? And I feel that this is something that you two can help with. Would you understand that? I feel like there was a lot of people that turned up to his funeral. Like a lot of people, like there wasn't enough chairs. And I feel that there was also the order of service. I feel like Mum and quite a few others are just holding on to it really tightly, okay? And if you could ask her, please, because what he's showing me is that I'm waking up in the morning, I'm picking the order of service up and I'm giving it a kiss, all right? And yeah, it's a question of him saying, I know it wasn't my time, but it actually was my time. I did everything on fast forward. Okay, I did everything on fast forward. But the humour is repeating himself again about the importance that he can now be the spirit guide and get up to mischief, more so without getting caught than he did when he was alive. All right, and that's important to him. Okay. I don't know what I'm getting here, I have to tell you. It's very, very odd. It's like I'm seeing a pair of trainers. I feel like they're white trainers. But something has happened to these trainers or something has been done with these trainers that's really important.
I do get.
You understand why? Because I'm like, why are you giving me these trainers? And he said, just give it as it is. Give the trainers.
I understand.
Okay. And would you understand, please? I don't feel like he had a lot of hair because he would be somebody that would have a baseball cap on a lot of times, so I can't see. But someone has kept some of his hair. Would you understand that? I may have just started moving on, but just this, I'm just seeing a small, not a lot, but just a small, yeah, like a tiny little bit of hair. Okay. Okay. He's saying thank you for helping convey these messages back to Mum. All right. Would you understand a sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wants to acknowledge a sister.
Okay.
Because he had so much fun winding her up.
Yeah.
So much fun. He was somebody, I feel like very, like I've probably already said this, like Jack the Lad, but he was very protective over the females within the family.
Yeah.
Very protective. And yeah, he would stand up to anybody that got in the way of them girls. All right, and that's what he's making me very much aware of. I'm going to leave his love, his banter, his memories, his sense of humour and his showmanship with you, because I just feel like he's very much like, here I am, okay? The way that he had the motorbike going through first was like, he was making an entrance, yeah? And just quickly, I feel like everybody wore colour to his funeral. I feel there was really upbeat music. I feel people were dancing. It was very unconventional. And he's like that. He loved it. All right. So as much as it's emotional, he's come with so much humour because Mum, sister, everybody that has been affected by his passing needs a really big healing uplift, because that isn't how it was supposed to be, all right? It was an accident, but we can't cry over spilt milk. What a random thing to say. I'm sorry, but that's what I just got. Okay. So I'll leave his love with you.
Yeah.
Thank you for working
Thank
with
you.
me.
5 minutes if you want.
5 minutes. We'll see if there's anyone that wants to. Would anybody understand an Alsatian dog, please, in spirit? Really random. I said it was random. Yeah? Can I come to you then, please? Yeah. Because I was looking around and I was like, right, who's next? And then it was like, look down at the feet and there's this Alsatian dog. And, yeah, it wants to be acknowledged. You treat this dog like a human. Would you understand that?
Not me, but yeah.
The person that it belongs to, yeah? Okay, because I just get the sense of I am very, very, very cared for, very looked after, and I don't eat all of the dog food. I get food, fresh food cooked and made for me. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Yep. Because I said, let's have a bit of evidence rather than just the Alsatian. But it's like I'm eating like a king. It's very, very good, expensive cuts of meat that have been cooked for this lovely dog. I feel that he's simply coming through for you to acknowledge the bond that he had with the person that you know on the airplane that's lost him. Do you understand that? Yeah. And I'm seeing a garden, I'm seeing grass, and I feel like there's something in the garden that has been placed there in memory of this dog.
I'll have to ask.
Okay, can I leave that with you then to find out? It's just I was taken into a garden, green grass, and I'm like, well, what am I looking at? And they said something has been placed in the garden. All right, well, that was the feeling that I got. Can I leave the dog's love with you?
Yeah,
Thank you for working with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jo Bruno! Well, what can I say except little port don't half make good mediums. It's so wonderful to see. You know, we were having a bit of a, it's always a bit weird when you have a bit of a reminiscence. It's been so long since, oh, steady on old bean. It's been so long since Jo has trod the boards of the village hall, back where it all began.
Yeah, it did.
And it's like, we were just working out, it's about
Crazy.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Talk about serendipity. The lady who dragged her along to a demo here in this village hall, I was talking to 2 days ago, and I haven't seen her in ages either.
Yeah, she's
so,
the reason I ended up going on my mediumship journey.
and she's the reason that you went on the mediumship journey. So it's always good to support local mediums who've done the work and really worked hard
Thank
for
you
it.
for having me here.
And if you ever need anything crystal related, see her on a Saturday over on Ely Marketplace.
Twice a month.
Twice a month.
First and third Saturday. I'm not there
First
every
and
week.
third Saturday. So
The week in between is my mediumship working week.
there we go. There we go. So thank you so much. And I will just say, that's him.
Oh, lovely to see a
That's him.
photo.
But yes, my granddad was very famous for having bandy legs, bless him, and he had problems with his knees and hips.
I really felt
and
that
he did
a lot.
walk a bit funny, bless his heart. And he had problems with his knuckles. He would always sit there rubbing his knuckles as well. It's wonderful, wonderful. And looking around and seeing the reactions to your messages too is what makes all of this worthwhile. So, ladies and gentlemen, one last time, a big thank you to our medium tonight, Jo Bruno. Yeah, it's funny really, because in the time that I've known you, I've been on the stage with your brother-in-law back in 2000.
My brother-in-law.
Adam.
I don't have a brother-in-law called... Oh, Adam.
Yeah!
That's because he doesn't live around here. That's
No, I
really-
know, but he used to in 2000.
Ah, I didn't
Yeah,
know
so
that.
we were on the stage together in 2000 because I wrote a play
Oh,
and he was one of my main characters.
I never knew that he was an actor.
There you
That's
go. So
interesting.
you can wind him up you next time,
Yeah.
you see. Of course, you've gone through your name change and everything
Yes,
as well.
yes,
So
yes.
it is all about reminiscing
It
tonight.
is.
It's like,
It's
thank
been
you.
lovely to be back in this hall.
Absolutely. Well, we look
Crazy.
forward to your next visit.
Well, thank you. I look forward to coming back.
Bless you. So, friends, the time has come to say goodnight, for every road must end. But we'll always be together in our hearts, our special absent friends. That's another memory.
Yes.
We're going to have our closing prayer, and then we'll have a raffle, and then tea and coffee. But thank you all for coming out. I'm glad to say that I've seen someone take their coat off tonight, which is brilliant.
It is warm.
You know, we're getting the temperature. I'm going to get you a hot water bottle to sit on, because it's still what I don't know what else I could do. I'll bring you a hot water bottle. Seriously, I'll bring you a nice one of those foot spas and a hot water bottle. There you go. We can have a therapy night. But friends, thank you all for being here. Get ready to get your raffle tickets ready, but first, let's join together and say our closing prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, thank you for the opportunity to come together, to unite under your banner of love, of hope and of friendship. As we go out into the world, let us take with us that message of hope and upliftment and that truth that life is indeed eternal. And in times of struggle and in times of difficulty, we ask you not to move the mountain, but give us the strength to climb. And as the old saying goes, please, Great Spirit, help us to accept the things that we cannot change the things that we cannot accept, and be able to tell the difference between the two. And I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present and the friends and family they represent. Until we meet again in your name, amen. Thank you, Jo, for a wonderful evening. It's great to see you back. Thank you to everyone at home who tuned in, stayed tuned in, and could hear us and see everything eventually. So we're going to say goodnight to everyone at home now. Thank you all for your comments. I will make sure Jo reads them. Lucy says hello. We're going to say goodnight to everyone now. And remember, it's a bigger speaker. It picks up more, so they'll be able to hear you. So after 3, from all of us here to all of you out there. 1, 2, 3. Good night, and God bless you all, and we'll see you next week when our medium